All right. Welcome to the first episode of Red River Football. I'll be bringing my co-host on here in a minute. I just want to let everybody get settled in here and get to watching. Thank you all for coming out for the last few nights, last few episodes of shows that we've done. They've been awesome. But we'll be bringing Vern on here in a minute. We'll get this going. And the first episode of Red River Football. And we'll be going over that here in just a minute. As soon as Vern gets on here, he's going to shoot me an invite, and we're going to get going. I hope everybody's having a great day. Do your buddy check. Check on your folks. Check on your friends. I don't care if they're Army, Navy, Air Force, Marines, Coast Guard, civilian, neighbor, family. Check on them. All right, waiting on Vern, and we'll get going. All right, let's see if I can get him on here. You better not be cooking. And we're just going to be getting some. There we go. There it is. So here it is, the first episode of Red River Football, until we can come up with a better name maybe down the road.
Hey, that name fits, man. It's all about
the It fits. So like I said, I'm a little bit Sooner. You're a little bit Hook'em. What better way to do a football show than Oklahoma, Texas, right?
Nope.
What better way? So I want to welcome everybody. Like I said, this is the first episode of Red River Football, where Vern and I will be talking about Big 12 mostly. Big 12 football. We'll be giving some picks, some other college picks. But we want to talk about Big 12 football. We'll give you some of the some other college games. But this is, and then we'll just tweak it as we go and see how this goes on down the line. So welcome to the first episode. Welcome, buddy.
Thank you. Appreciate you having me.
I don't know if I could stare at you too long with that burnt orange on.
That's the whole point, baby. Because they went in the Big 12 this year, man.
Are you ready to? So, all right. We talked about it. So we'll do it. We'll kind of do it like the Red River rivalry. I thought about this, and if we can get what we talked about via message, if we can get that.
Yep. That's what I'm talking about, Clay.
So, if I think so. Well, we should have two different things. One for the Red River rivalry, the OU Texas game.
Okay.
We need to find something for that, because obviously I'm going to take OU. You're going to take Texas. So we need to have something like the governor's hat or something. We need to make like a Red River hat or something. We'll figure something out. And then for whoever, if OU wins the Big 12, well, obviously, if OU wins the Big 12, you have to wear OU for the show, for the ending show. You have to wear. You don't have to wear it like deck out, maybe an OU hat or something.
All right, I can do that.
Just you don't have to deck out. And if Texas wins the Big 12,
you got to wear a Texas hat.
I will wear a Texas hat.
Better get signed.
Deal? But then we also have the other thing that we're talking about. We're going to be picking our games, and whoever has the best record will get that bragging rights and that item that we're talking about. I don't want to say anything until we get it all squared away. So that's the deal. If you have the better record at the end of the season, you will get the bragging rights. You can put the Texas Longhorns symbols on it. If I win, I get to put the OU symbols, and I get the bragging rights till the next season, till the next year. Deal?
Deal.
That's what I like. So what is your thoughts so far on the Big 12? Overall, not Texas, not Oklahoma, just Big 12 overall. What are your thoughts?
I honestly think there's 3.5 teams competing in the Big 12 right now. That's it. 3.5.
Yep, you are right.
So
I agree. Bowlesby came down today. They did offer. I know that Cincinnati's probably more than likely the first one added in. So we'll see how that. I mean, obviously we're moving. And then the next couple of years we're going to be doing SEC coverage.
Yeah, struggling.
But I think I'm if they do that, if the Big 12 survives and they bring these teams in, I'm happy for them. I want them, but Iowa State and Oklahoma State and the rest of those teams need to watch out, because BYU and Cincinnati are not going to lay down, and they're not going to be a West Virginia, is all I'm going to say.
No.
West Virginia came in, thought they were going to run it or be good. No.
I agree with
West Virginia should have left.
Yep.
Just and these are my relatives. All my relatives are West Virginia, so I can talk smack about them. So Clay says Iowa State, OU, Texas, only teams that got a shot at the Big 12. I think every sportscaster, every Big 12 official and reporter said the same thing. You're right. Those three have the most legitimate shot of winning it this year.
Yep.
Agreed. I'll tell you this, and I said it in my show last week. Texas and Kansas State looked the best though this past weekend.
Yeah, but I think Kansas State's competition helped them. I think they helped them. So
Yeah.
OU started off rough. I was like, oh my God, Tulane hanging in there.
Let me tell you about some of the radio shows. They even brought, and it's going on from, let's just talk, we know from 2000, because the woes too, since Mac Brown's left, there's been woes in Texas. We all know it. We've all felt it. I love Lincoln Riley. Don't get me wrong. Love him. Great coach.
He ain't stupid.
But he that second half, he likes to sit on the ball. He likes to sit on the ball, and that hurts him. And that was the biggest thing that came out on sports radio since Saturday afternoon till today. That's all they're talking about. Stop sitting on the ball. Have that killer instinct.
Yep.
You and I get it. I get it. He doesn't. But this is, I don't know.
Yeah, they got.
But
they gotta, if they want to impress the playoff poll, man, they gotta blow out the teams that they're supposed to blow out, and they gotta beat the tough teams. And when you let Tulane hang around and close the gap like right there before the end, it's the score. They're not gonna talk about the whole game. It's gonna be like, well, look how close they got. So.
I'm not taking anything away from Tulane. I think they're a great team. Like I said on my show the other night, they've been to the bowls for the last 3 years with this coach, and he's won 8-9 games with this team.
Yeah.
That's good. And I'm not saying that we were going to blow them out. I thought we'd do better. As much as we were hyped up, and I think every team falls to it. Texas's fall to it. Ohio State's fall to it. The preseason hype. The big talk. You got the Heisman Trophy player. Vince Young went on to win it.
Yep.
But they still had some woes that year when they were the hype. USC and Texas, we knew from the beginning was going to be those two teams at the end of the year.
Yeah. You talk about hype. Look at number 10, North Carolina. You talk about.
I love Mac. Like I said, I love Mac Brown. I loved him when he was at Texas.
Yeah.
He knows how to coach the kids. It's like Nick Saban. He knows how to coach some kids. But damn, yeah, they got hyped. And I think Sam Howell tried to live up to his Heisman hype, and it just he just bombed.
Yeah.
Yeah. There was a lot of pretenders over the weekend for sure, and I'll still say OU is pretending this weekend. They haven't shown me that they're ready to compete for number, and they damn sure shouldn't have been number 2. So. But yeah, we got three Big 12 teams, top 15, Texas, Iowa State, Oklahoma. So yeah, that's where I see him going.
Herman got fired ultimately. He couldn't get a lead. Yeah, you're right. Herman hurt us big time, Clay. He came in there playing that softball. Nobody in the Big 12 wants to see that. Nobody from Texas wants to see it. You can't be an OU coach, can't be a Baylor coach, can't be a UT coach, can't be a coach in the Big 12 and not want to put your foot on somebody's neck when they're down.
Yep. And that's Gundy's problem. Gundy's problem at Oklahoma State. He tries to play too conservative at times. He'll go out there and beat up on, Mississippi State University of the Meadowlands or whatever it is. But when it comes down to playing Texas, I mean, yeah, he's I see the horns. He'll go out there and he'll do all right against, he'll play Texas or he'll play the other, but he goes in there against other teams and he just starts being conservative and he doesn't have a killer. He doesn't have the killer instinct anymore.
Nope.
I honestly can't say much. I don't know about Steve Sarkisian. I don't know much about y'all's coach this year because he was from Alabama. I didn't pay attention to him much. But even Big Bob Stoops said, watch out, Big 12. So Bob Stoops picked you guys.
I mean, Sarkisian, if he's got his personal issues under control, the guy can coach. I mean, when he's out in California with the Trojans, if I'm not mistaken, he did well until he had his problems, and that kind of problem will could get to anybody, and I mean, we've all seen it with somebody. Oh, yeah. Somebody close to us has suffered from it. It changes everything. So
I won't bag him on. I mean, like I said, I won't bag him on that. And I up until this season, I didn't really know a whole lot about him. I still don't know that much, but he looked good. He looked good Saturday. I think he's prepared. And they're going to take, as much as, and I hate to say it, they're going to take the Big 12 by storm this year. It's going to be, the Red River is going to be a tough game. And Iowa State's going to be a tough game. Those three, I mean, we're all three of those teams, you and I are probably going to be biting our nails come the last game of the season, figuring out who's going to win the Big 12. So
I mean, let's going to win the Big 12. I can help you with that. Texas is going to. Sarkisian. So we talk about the killer instinct. I feel like Sarkisian is going to be that guy because he is trying to rebuild not only his personal reputation, but his coaching image and set himself up for recruiting moving into the SEC. He's coming out of Nick Saban's program. That's 1+ for him. And if he can come in here this last year that they're in there and take the Big 12, he's going to be set. He's going to roll in there, and he's going to be vying with Alabama and those guys, for recruits.
So, yeah, I think Oklahoma and Texas want to have a good showing before they leave. They're gone. I don't care what anybody says. No 2023, no 2024, no 2025. They're gone after this season.
Yeah.
That's why the Big 12 is going after these teams right now so they can have them on ready to go for a season next year because I guarantee you, OU Texas out the door, as soon as the season's in, they're going to be having SEC schedules next year.
Yep.
And OU and Texas want to show up, and beat the crap out of everybody before they leave.
Yep.
But in turn, those other, I mean, I said it from the beginning, these teams, because OU thinks they're moving to the SEC, these teams are going to want to beat the crap out of them. They're going to want to punish them. They're going to, I give it to Tulane. Put a beating on them. Hit them hard. Intercept the ball 3 times. Don't, I can't be a homer all the time. And I got to call it when I see it.
Yeah.
So, yeah, they're Texas and OU. They want to show up, and beat them. But the other teams, that's what we got to be watching out for. Those other teams are going to want to come gunning and embarrass us. So I think that's something that we have to look forward to. But yeah, I'm excited, man. Excited. And so, do you think that's what has hurt Texas is once Texas A&M went over to the SEC? Did that pull recruiting from Texas? Yeah. What officially happened? Because I know when we play, I know a lot of Texas. I keep up with them when they play the games, but I don't know a lot of recruiting. I don't get to hear the sports radio down there. So what exactly kind of happened? Where does decline start for Texas?
As much of a fan of his I was, the decline started first. The decline did start when A&M left. A&M was smart. They left the Big 12. They knew they were going to get that recruiting pool in the SEC. I mean, that's where, let's be honest, that's where these kids want to play. The SEC is where there's the money. Now that these guys are able to get contracts and stuff.
Damn an angel.
A lot of these guys are able to get, sign these big money contracts and stuff. That big money is going to follow the big league, and the big league is the SEC. So it's just going to get worse. Texas and OU saw the writing on the wall. They were going to start losing recruits to where their names could be made and that money could be made before they go, because like we talked about before on one of your previous shows, these kids get injured now and they got a $30 million contract with Nike or Xbox or whoever. They're like, do I want to hobble around for the rest of my life, man, or I finish out my time in the SEC, get a degree, and have $30 million in the bank. I don't
Yeah.
fight for that injury the rest of the time, or fight trying to make a squad after that. And then Charlie Strong, he wasn't ready for the pressure of Texas. And I mean,
Yeah.
I feel like he was unfairly pressured from the outside.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
So
even in Oklahoma, you saw. I mean,
yeah.
You could see it. I mean, if you're a fan of football around the country, you saw how he was.
Yeah.
Strong-armed and treated. So yeah, it was unfair for him.
He did.
I think he was.
And he didn't help himself bringing in his everybody that the people he brought in to help him with this team in the Big 12, didn't have that instinct we were talking about. None of them dudes were ready for big time. Everybody thought they were big time. Louisville, they did great while he was in Louisville, but I mean, Louisville ain't the Big 12. Louisville ain't OU. Louisville ain't the Red River rivalry. It ain't OSU. Like TCU back then was knocking helmets off of folks. They weren't ready for it. And then the defensive scheme he brought in there, you're not coming in here playing that type of defense against them boys throwing the ball from OU, because y'all, I mean, in the Big 12, you all right now run that quarterback. Like the quarterbacks come in, they want to play for OU. They want to play for Lincoln. So we're hoping to change that, though. Sarkisian will fix that in the quarterback disparity when we go to the SEC. I mean, I think we're all going to be, behind the third guy that's on Alabama's bench waiting for his turn, because Saban has five-star starters hanging out waiting. So
he's got 5 stars sitting in practice squads right now waiting to take their turn. Yeah, I agree. I'm excited for the move. I'm really, really excited for the move. I think OU Texas.
Keep it down, Michael. Keep it down with all that stuff.
I think OU and Texas wanted to leave with Missouri and Texas A&M. I really do. I think the Big 12 begged them to stay.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously I'm not in the know. I don't know what goes on behind the doors of the commissioners and things like that. But I think they wanted to go then. But hey, we're there. It's just a matter of when, which we know is probably next year.
Yeah.
So I picked out the game, the Big 12 games. We'll kind of go over them real quick.
Okay.
Then we'll get into me and you talking some because we got a game to watch tonight, and I know both of you and I are picking that game. So there's no point in even arguing over that.
No.
All right. So we got West Virginia versus. I don't want you to fall out of your seat when you hear this name, all right? So I want you to hold on to your seat. West Virginia is playing Long Island University.
Yeah, I got West Virginia winning that one 21-7.
Yeah. You got 21-7?
Yeah.
I picked West Virginia 64, Long Island University 3.
I was trying to be respectful, man.
I know you were trying to be respectful, and I want to be respectful to those kids, but let's be honest. 64, that's what I got, 64-3, all right?
What did
I don't even, I'll be honest with you, I've never even heard of Long Island University till just now, an hour before this game.
They scored, 20 points against the unranked last week?
Yeah, I'm just trying to be nice.
Yeah.
I'm trying to be nice to my West Virginia folks who are watching and give them a little love. All right, we got next up Baylor versus Texas Southern.
That will probably be, in my opinion, the closest game in the Big 12. Because I mean, the other ones they seem like all blowouts to me. One way or the other, there's going to be a blowout.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't want to say blowout. I feel like they're predetermined.
Predetermined, yeah.
So
yeah,
I think, but I do think Baylor's going to pull that one out.
I got Baylor 38, Texas Southern 10.
I would say Baylor, they still struggle a little bit on offense. I'm going to give them, I'll keep you 10, and I'll take 28 on Baylor.
All right. Now, these aren't the ones we're keeping tabs on. The ones we get ready to pick here in a little bit will be the ones we keep tabs on.
Okay.
All right. Next up, we got Okie State versus Tulsa.
I still got to go Oklahoma State. I mean, the mullet is still going to get it done.
Yeah. My Okie State fans are going to be mad at me. If Spencer Sanders is still on COVID protocol this week for the game, Tulsa wins 34-31 over Oklahoma State. I'm picking Tulsa 30-34, Okie State 31.
Wow.
Yeah, I watched them play against Missouri State the other day, and they had a Oklahoma breakdown in the second half.
Yeah.
And almost lost to Missouri State. Like I said on my show, they just don't have that Chuba Hubbard anymore. They don't have that running back that everybody's afraid of, that they're going to line up 8 in the box and they're going to air it out right now. They don't. Until they get that running back, until they find that running back at Oklahoma State, I just don't see them win big games or by major amount of points. They're going to have a lot of close games.
You don't think their pass first strategy is gonna help them overcome that? Because Oklahoma State usually puts a really stout offensive line in front of their quarterback. And
yeah, but they've always had a signature back there. They've had a signature back that you had to be aware of as well. You had whether it was out of the back, a pass out of the backfield. They always had a back that was a signature that you had to be head on a swivel with these guys.
Yeah,
and they just don't have that this year. At least in my opinion, they don't have that this year. And if they get that back, then I'll take back everything I said. And I believe that they might be that fourth team to maybe sneak up on us.
TCU is going to be that team vying for 3rd or 4th in the Big 12.
You think so? I'm not as high. I love TCU. I love Garrett, but I love Garrett, but he just, I don't know if he's lost his edge. I don't know if he's just. We'll get to that. We'll get to him in there in a minute. Let's get on to Texas Tech. Stephen F. Austin.
Okay. You can't. I can't root for a team that's named after Stephen, and then the initials are Stephen A. Bro, like Stephen. I can't do it. I can't. So I'm gonna go with Texas Tech.
Yeah, I got Texas Tech 42-14. Texas Tech 42-14. I think that's being generous to Stephen F. Austin. All right. I might be generous. I might be generous on this next game too. In K-State's favor. Kansas State at Southern Illinois. I got Kansas State 47, Southern Illinois 10.
I gave Southern Illinois 17, and I'm still not sold that Kansas State can put up those big numbers. So I got it 28-17.
I think I'm just gun shy. I'm gun shy of Kansas State because of the 2 years in a row they've snuck up and spanked us. So I'm a little gun shy on them. I want to maybe if I jinx them, if I give them enough props and I jinx them for the first couple of games, when they roll into when we roll into play them, I don't know how any of that jinxing works or anything. So that's what I'm hoping will happen. But no, I'm like I said, I think I was a little too generous on that, but I'm just kind of going based off of what I saw over the weekend. And again, that could change. Next up, we got Coastal Carolina at Kansas. I'm sitting here saying Coastal Carolina is a ranked team at this moment.
Yeah.
A ranked team, and they could
because of the division that they play in, could sneak up and be like on a New Year's Six game. I don't think they make the playoffs, but they have a team that's getting ready to sneak into the New Year's Six again.
So I can't even lie. I was gonna say I think Kansas is gonna sneak dudes, but I can't even lie. I think Kansas is gonna get mollywopped. Like, this is gonna be the mollywop game. So
yeah, I got 38-10.
I got 42-7.
Nice. Yeah, so we're right. Yeah, we're right along lines. All right. This is between the Tulsa and Oklahoma State game and this game. I have it close. These are the two closest games because I don't know a whole lot about Cal Bears. TCU versus California. I got TCU 28, Cal 27. I may be overlooking TCU a little bit. Not trying to. Like I said, I love Gary. He's a great coach. I just don't know. Because they played Duquesne's last week.
Yeah.
And I couldn't. I mean, yeah, you're probably going to put up a lot of points against Duquesne. I get it. So I felt like they were playing a practice team. So I gave them a little bit, and obviously Cal's a name team. So I kind of went close, 28-27. I might, before the weekend's out, change that, and I'll get with you if I do change it. But
I'm gonna have to stick with TCU, man. I think they're gonna shut Cal down. I'm gonna give Cal 10 points, but
okay.
I'm gonna give TCU 35.
All right. So we both got TCU. We both like it, and I'm trying to be, like I said, maybe a little overcautious. Like I said, just because of the game that they played previous, it's hard to judge a team off of some of those teams when they play like Duquesne or the Citadel or Southwest Choctaw, Oklahoma State University of the Beanbaggers.
Yeah.
Now, I love Choctaw. Don't get me wrong. None of my Choctaw peeps get mad at me. I love Choctaw. They're great this year. I'm just being silly. But you understand where I'm coming from. I don't know how to judge a team. I mean, you can see, and you got your backup players, some great time in there, but now you got a Power 5 team. So that's why I stayed. And so I stayed with that one. We got up next Iowa at Iowa State. This was on my Tuesday show. It's one of the big ones to pick on. I'm sticking with my points on that one. This is another close game. Iowa 38, Iowa State 35.
I got Iowa 21 and Iowa State 18.
Okay, I'll take it. I just think Breece Hall is a beast of a running back, and I think he's going to have some rushing yards in that game. And so I'm going to give Iowa State due credit. I'll give them 35. I'll stick with my 35. They didn't impress me. Let me just point out, blankly say, they did not impress me this past weekend. They always have first game jitters. They always seem they always seem to stumble in that first game.
Yeah.
But come on, man, I don't even know if that was a stumble. That was just, sometimes it didn't even look like they knew what they were doing out there on the field. Like, they looked like OU. They didn't know what they were doing. They didn't know how to play the ball. All right, we got the greatest team ever to walk the face of the planet of the Earth, and the planet, in the United States, the greatest team ever, Oklahoma versus Western Carolina. 56-17. I'm giving some Western Carolina some things because their head coach passed just not too long ago. So there's going to be some emotions in this game, kind of like Tulane, where Tulane had to come up here. I think there's some emotion in that game. I don't know if Western Carolina has a whole lot of offense to even make our defense look terrible. But I think OU will find a way to make the defense look terrible. I think they'll find some way. They'll stop running towards the ball. I don't know. I hate talking bad about my team. I do, but I got to be realistic. Their defense has been horrible. They're just not consistent at all. So I'm giving 17 to Western Carolina, 56 to Oklahoma.
I gave Oklahoma, as much as I hate it, I gave Oklahoma 42, and I gave Carolina 14. I think there are going to be a lot of the big teams that, because even Texas came out the gate. They didn't come out the gate, ready to go. You know what I mean? They had to knock off the dust, and I think that's what's going on. A lot of these guys didn't play last year. Real contact now in practices and things like that. Recovery, stuff like that. So I think OU. And then the embarrassment last week, Tulane, I'm sure Lincoln Riley went into the locker room and was like, man, you let Tulane put these points up on you. Tulane, you're supposed to be a Heisman Trophy winner. We are number 2. We don't let ranked dudes put 34 points up on us,
Yeah.
So I think they're gonna put it on Carolina. I see it starting it'll just start earlier than it did last time. By second quarter, you're gonna be flipping the channel because it's gonna be. I think Carolina will score their 14 points in the second half, possibly the fourth quarter when it's a wash, and they're worried about Oklahoma's preserving some of these guys so they don't get hurt.
All right, next up, Arkansas, Texas. What do you got?
I got Texas 35 and Arkansas 10. So,
We are really close.
Yeah, I don't think they've. I need the quarterback to get a little more comfortable. I need him to realize, like, I'm the guy. I'm not going to get pulled. They picked me. Let's do this. Let's throw this football. So when he gets his feet firmly on the ground and he realizes he is the Longhorns quarterback, if this game were to happen in week 4, I'd have given Texas 50 points.
Yeah.
So.
You're probably right. I probably would have too. I'm right there with you, Texas 35, but I did give Arkansas 14. I did give two touchdowns to the Sueys. I don't think we're going to hear that a lot. And I'm just trying to be generous. I want this to become I want this because we're moving. I want to see this become a rivalry. The Arkansas, Texas, Oklahoma, Arkansas, Oklahoma, I want to see that. I want to see some close games at first to see if but we know I got it. It's Arkansas. They haven't been good since forever. Let's just be honest. They haven't been good for forever, but
yeah.
I think so who yeah, that's it. So that's the Big 12 roundup. All right. Here's where we start marking our so we got 5 college games that we're going to pick, ladies and gentlemen. We got 5 college games we're going to pick. We got 5 NFL. Feel free to chime in. Feel free to give us your opinions. Tell us we're both smoking or we're both right on. Let us know what you think. I'll let you start with your first college game.
So my first college game, let me see what my list is. So my first college game, I think, where are we going?
Don't lose your notes.
Yeah, we're gonna talk about Cincinnati since we're talking about bringing them to the Big 12.
Okay. Who are they playing?
Murray State.
Murray State.
I think this year is an audition year now for Cincinnati. Rumors are out there because the Big 12 is going to do this smartly. You know what I mean? They're not going to come out and say, "Hey, we want you," but they're gonna let it slip. An inside source, whatever. Somebody leaked it, so these dudes would put their big boy pants on, and be like, "Look, we got the chance to be in the Big 12," and they see everything that you saw, that I saw, that everybody sees. The powerhouses are moving out. There's going to be a vacancy. And you're absolutely right. They can come in here and just knock the Big 12 around right now. So I think that they're going to I look for Cincinnati to really, really beat the brakes off of Murray State this weekend. I think they're going to – this is their statement game. So it's not a surprise that they're going to win, but I just think it's the manner in which they're going to do it makes it a good watch. So I got Cincinnati I got Cincinnati at 48 and Murray State at 3.
48. That's probably a good bet. All right. My first college game for this week. I'll let you get your pen, mark it down. I got UTEP at Boise State. But I got Boise State coming back after that disastrous opening game against UCF. They're going to rebound. They're going to go into UTEP. We all know what UTEP is. Even from people from Oklahoma know what UTEP is. It's 42-14. I got Boise State 42, UTEP 14.
That's that's a wash as well. Boise State always plays good football.
They do.
They always play good football, and even the fact that I'm from El Paso, I can't help it. UTEP tries. They do.
I know
they do, but they're not ready yet. They're not ready yet. I don't know if it's just too flat and dry out there, because it's rocks and heat out in El Paso. So can they can't get folks or what? But it's I can't disagree with that at all.
Okay. All right, what you got next?
Next, I've got. Hang on for me. So I have, for some reason, this thing is not liking me right now. Here we go. So my next game.
I don't think we're going to have this, with this being week 2. I don't think we're going to have too many games where we're just like, nah, you're coming up in the next few weeks. Mark my word, folks. We're going to have some games where Vern and I are going to be like.
So
All right.
I got Rutgers and Syracuse. I picked it because I think it's going to be a tight game. I think it's going to be an enjoyable game. Ultimately, I think Rutgers is going to win out. I think it's going to be an enjoyably pathetic game. I don't think it's going to be like anybody blowing anybody up or anything like that. Right. But I think there's going to be some good hitting. It's going to be some solid hits. It's going to be football like we want to see, some just helmets clanging. Bodies all over the place, but I do think Syracuse is going to pull it out 24-21.
You got Syracuse or Rutgers?
I got Syracuse 24-21.
All right. Well, here, and I just said there wasn't going to be a game that you and I are going to disagree on, but here I am. Not so fast, my friend. Let me get my Lee Corso out there.
Uh-oh.
I also picked the Rutgers-Syracuse game because I'm feeling along the same lines as you do. It's going to be hard hitting. These guys are right there in the same general vicinity of the country, So I got along the same lines that you were thinking of, but I got Rutgers 35, Syracuse 31.
Ooh. Okay.
So we're kind of along the same lines of the score there, a few points difference, but I think it's close. I think it's hard hitting. I like points. I like points. I like teams. I think these two teams are going to put some points on the board. So like I said, Rutgers 35, Syracuse 31. Wait, I like that. I like that we have one that we can. So there's definitely one win or another for both of us. Right?
All right. My next one. I picked oh no, you're up.
All right. I took it again. I mentioned it in the Big 12, what we just talked about. I picked it again just because I want to rub it in to my Okie State fans and let them get mad at me and let them go like, oh, pistol fire. I love you, Okie State fans. Just giving you a hard time. I still take it. Tulsa 34, Oklahoma State 31. That's where I stand.
Okay.
Like I said, they don't have that feature back. that can take the pressure off of whoever, doesn't matter. And Spencer Sanders is known to fumble the ball at least 3 times a game. So I don't know if they have anybody to stop that right now. So I give it to Tulsa 34, Oklahoma State 31.
Tulsa 34, OK State 31.
Yes, sir. Normally, I would not pick against Oklahoma State in these games. Normally, I would not. But I just don't know if they got it. And Gundy's lost his instinct. Gundy's lost. I'm going to say it right now. I said it earlier. Gundy's lost his instinct. He doesn't know how to coach anymore. There, I said it. Whoever's watching, mark my words. Gundy doesn't know how to coach anymore. I'm done.
I think he got a little bit Hollywood, man. Gundy got a little bit Hollywood, started getting a little bit cocky, and people figured him out.
Yep.
So, yeah.
Agreed. You're up. Third game.
I got Washington and Michigan. And
I really wanted to pick that game, but after watching Washington just get destroyed by Montana,
but
I don't know.
I mean, it's Michigan though, right? So
I know
the Michigan Wolverines, you want to talk about hype. They're the most overhyped college football program in the world. What has Michigan done besides produce Tom Brady, who was like the sixth position water boy?
He was Mr. Irrelevant.
Yeah, that gets picked up, saddled with the greatest coach in football in our time, you know. But, and don't get me wrong, the dude's talented. Like, it took, like, Belichick really, really found the needle in the haystack to see that, you know, where he was playing. I mean, Michigan is a football school. I feel like has been riding on the coattails of their basketball greatness of the 90s, you know.
They're still riding on Bo Schembechler from the 1970s and 80s. That's what they're still riding their coats on.
Yeah.
And that's what I don't get. They've been just because Bo Schembechler won a few games, and he was a great coach. Don't get me wrong, but they've been riding him. It's like us riding Barry Switzer.
Yeah.
We're not doing that anymore.
Yeah.
But if that's how we were playing, that's what it would be. So you got Washington and Michigan. Who you picking?
I'm picking Washington. I'm gonna go Washington. I'm gonna pick Washington with the upset, man. I'm gonna give them 21,
right.
And I'm gonna give Michigan 17.
Good.
I don't think Michigan doesn't.
I told them to slow the roll. They played Central Michigan last week. It's slow your roll. It's like TCU playing Duquesne's. Slow your roll. Slow your roll.
So they just.
All right. So right now we're 3 games in. I've given you Rutgers, and I've given you Rutgers, Tulsa, and Boise. I'm going to give you. I got Florida at South Florida. Florida looked great coming out against the on Saturday. Put some hits on. Well, one of their boys got hit.
Yeah.
One of their players got smacked, but it was a great game. I like Florida. I mean, never. Even though I know you beat them last year, I've never been against Florida. I like Florida as a team. I think they're a great team. Florida 42, South Florida 10.
I can't disagree with that at all. I can't. I almost picked this, but I think I can. I picked my bully beating up the blind kid when I picked Cincinnati and Murray State, so I can't pick that the whole time. Yeah, they're gonna get trounced. It's gonna be It's gonna be embarrassing. Yeah, that's a solid.
That's a pretty. I mean, that was a solid bet. I had to have one. I think I had to have one solid win, even if I'm wrong on those other ones. I had to have one solid win right there, and I think that's it.
Yeah, that's where I was with Cincinnati. I'm like, let me go ahead and pick the winner out of the way. I got Hawaii next. Oregon State.
Okay.
Man, this is a tough one.
Oh no, Hawaii just got demolished by UCLA, so I don't know. It might be easier than you think.
Well, I mean, I think UCLA is going to surprise a lot of folks this year. They're due one, and they played that game with a whole lot of confidence, man. And they just like they were the team that that had their stuff together. You know what I mean? Like they came out and they executed from the jump. So I look for Hawaii to rebound though and play better. I don't think they're going to beat Oregon State, but I think it'll be a better game. So I've got Hawaii losing to Oregon State 28-21.
Woo. Good close game. I like that. That's about right. I mean, after what they put up against UCLA and then which was barely nothing, and then Oregon State hasn't been Oregon State in a while,
Nope.
and they haven't been a good team in a while. So yeah, that's a good pick. I like that. It's a good solid pick. 28-21. All right. What's your last pick?
My last pick. This is my like Mr. Irrelevant pick, man. I got Cal Poly at Fresno.
Oh, that's a good one. Always got to have a cheesy one. I give that to you. Cal Poly at Fresno.
Yeah. So I got Fresno winning a riveting game at 17-14.
Yeah, it's probably man. I'm not much on those Cal teams other than obviously UCLA, USC. Fresno used to have a pretty decent team. They haven't in a while. Cal Poly just sounds like a bunch of me playing against a bunch of John Cena's or something. I don't know. That's a good pick. All right, Fresno 17, Cal Poly. For my last game, I had to give you a sucker punch here. I'm taking Penn State, Ball State versus Penn State. I got Penn State 45, Ball State 21. I got it. I did crappy in week 1. It's at 4 and 6. I needed to have a rebound, so I'm going to have some rebounds here, hopefully. I got Penn State winning 45-21 over Ball State. Good picks.
Yeah, Penn State. Yeah, they better win. They better win bigger than what you're predicting them to win. So
I don't think they do. I mean, it was a good win over Wisconsin, but again, it was kind of like that Georgia Clemson game. If it wasn't for certain plays here and there, it's a whole nother ball game.
Yeah, and as benign as Clemson and Georgia was, it was such a good game. Like,
yeah, it was.
You just at times you have to appreciate like a defensive football game. Like you're just like, because I mean, I expected Georgia to throw the ball all over the place, and I expected Clemson. I thought it was going to be just a bang, 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 bang.
Yeah.
But when you saw those defenses, man, those boys were like, no. Like, this is about us. This is what you're doing. Trevor's gone. Who cares about this guy back here and behind Georgia? Like this, we're getting ready to show y'all. This is SEC defense.
Yeah.
And yeah, it was. I mean, I loved it. Pick 6 win.
Yeah, that was.
Come on now, like you can't.
I'll take some. If I was a Clemson fan, I wouldn't want it. If I was a Georgia fan, I wouldn't want it because I mean, when OU comes down to the wire, I'm a nervous wreck. So I know exactly how Clemson and Georgia felt. But that was, and like I said in my show the other day, there was a lot of people, oh, this is horrible. No, that was a well-played football game.
Yep.
Sometimes you're just not going to have those high-scoring games. And that's okay. That's okay to see the defenses stepping up and knocking the snot out of a kid, running up the middle and going out for a pass and getting walloped. It's okay.
Yep.
But I don't take anything away from Clemson. I still think they win the ACC. I still think they have a shot at the championship game or at the playoff. So I'm not taking anything away from it. It was a great game, and I'm still not high on Georgia. I just don't know. I love Georgia. Don't get me wrong. I love a lot of teams. I'll say that throughout the year, and you'll hear me say that. I don't know if they've got still. I don't know if they're ready to step up to Alabama after what I watched Alabama do to the tropical storms of Miami, because they damn sure didn't look like no hurricanes.
Yeah.
I just don't know if any. I don't know if anybody's got anything for Alabama this year. I don't know.
I mean,
I know it's week one. I know it's early, and I know it's week one, and time will tell. But right now, I don't know if anybody's got it. I don't know if anybody can gun for Alabama.
I think Alabama is going to be worse for everybody else after Saban went on TV and said that he is not impressed with his boys. You want to talk about kicking the hornet's nest, man?
Yeah, he probably just made it worse for anybody else that played.
That guy is the master of focus and humility. Like, who cares? Okay, great. You won a college football game. Great. You're 1-0. Great. What does that mean? It doesn't mean a damn thing in the scope of things. You're nothing until you can pick up a championship trophy. And he's knocking the ring on the table. He's like, I've been there, like, do you want one of these? Let's do
at least he's not like Notre Dame's coach who said he wanted to execute all of his players. No. I get it. I understand he was upset, but
that dude.
Just execute your play. All right. Let's get on. We got to get ready because we got a football game to watch here in a few minutes. So let's get our college ones down, or excuse me, our NFLs. Speaking of sunshine, I'm taking the Jags over the Texans because we know how us Dallas fans like to beat up on the Texans.
Yeah.
I'm taking the Jaguars 17, Texans 10.
I'm going to agree with you that Jacksonville is beating Houston, but I think it's going to be worse.
You think so?
Yeah. So.
Well, they don't have Tebow anymore, so I don't think they can score about 48 more points. No, I kid. I love you, Tim. If you're watching, Tim Tebow, I love you. I know I'm just giving you time.
You got Jacksonville at what?
I got Jacksonville 17, Texans 10.
I'm gonna give Tyrod Taylor, man. He's not the answer. He's not. He's a Band-Aid. I'm gonna be honest with you, and I hate taking it this way, but after all of the race claims that came out made by Deshaun Watson and everything, and put the eyes on Houston, I think they picked Tyrod Taylor as that Band-Aid. I mean, the guy, solid backup. And there's nothing in Houston, man. I think 10 points is at best. Like, at best.
I was trying to be nice.
You know what I mean? I think so what Urban Meyer is that I'm going to put my foot on your throat and choke you out and then spit on you when you're sleeping type guy. I think it's going to be 28-10.
All right. That's your pick?
Yeah, I got Jacksonville.
All right. All right, I'll give you my next one, and then we'll split it up again.
Okay.
My next game is the Chargers versus the team with no name. The team that we cannot mention in this household or any Dallas household, as long as we both shall live.
Yep.
The team with no name. No, well, I got Chargers 28, Washington 17.
Yeah, the Chargers are going to win.
Yeah.
I don't think Washington. I like the 28 you've got on the. I like the 28 you've got on the Chargers. I think Washington is going to score less, but yeah, that's a solid pick.
Okay.
That's a solid pick. I don't even think they. I mean, yeah, no. What was it? I can't remember what didn't Angel have Washington coming out of making the playoffs?
Yeah, Angel had Washington winning the and if you, I know a lot of it's kind of split between most of the writers and most of the reporters, anyways. Some got Dallas, some got Washington. I get it. Washington's got a good defense. I just don't know what they got on offense right now. I don't.
No.
I hate preseason games. Everybody goes, oh, they won 3 pre. No, I don't care about preseason. It's all going to matter come Sunday. Well, come tonight. It's all going to matter what's played on the field from now until the end of the season. So I just don't know if Washington's got it. I know Angel picked Washington. I disagreed with him on that as well. I think Dallas comes out of the East. Washington finishes probably third. I got Phil. And as much as, oh my God, let me wash my tongue because I said Philadelphia. No kid. I think I got Dallas, Philadelphia, Washington, Giants. I don't think this New York is just a dumpster fire right now.
I got New York over Washington in that scenario simply because they've got a quarterback. Jones can throw the ball.
I agree.
And Barkley's back. So.
And I give Saquon the same thing I give Dak right now. We say they're back. We say that, but how back? I get it. You know, there's a few players that have come back from those injuries. I got it.
Yeah.
But how back are they? If Saquon goes out and runs all over, I'll be proud. I'll be glad because I never want to see anybody. I'm a running back guy. I like the running backs. I want them to succeed, no matter what team they play on. I want those running backs to succeed. Saquon Barkley is awesome. He's a phenomenal kid. I hope he does great, but I just don't know how back he is yet.
Yeah. That it's you're absolutely right. Both of them, two perfect examples. Dak's injury was horrific, and Saquon's. I mean, I honestly wasn't sure he was gonna. After watching that game, like it was, I was like, man, this might be it for this dude. And you still got contract time in New York. We know they invest anything in the line. I mean.
Yeah,
that's but I mean the division is the Cowboys. Let's play. Let's make sure that we're taking.
We agree. We agree. It's Dallas's.
My next one, I got Miami and New England, and I got Tua beating
Mac
Jones, 28-24.
Well, we agree. I have a 21-20 Dolphins.
Okay.
I have 21-20 Dolphins. I got Tua beating Mac. I don't know. I mean, I don't know what the Patriots' identity is right now. Obviously, they're not the same without Tom Brady.
No.
I just don't know what their identity is, and not taking anything away from. I'll think of his name here in a minute. I'm just drawing a blank. Belichick, and I'm not taking anything away from Cam. I make jokes about Cam, but I kid because I mean that's what social media is for, is to make jokes about people. But I don't know if Cam's washed up. I don't know if he's washed up. I just don't know if Belichick and Cam meshed.
Yeah.
I don't know if that was the right fit for Cam Newton.
Yeah. Cam Newton is a whole lot of Hollywood, and Bill Belichick is a whole lot of sitting on the front porch reading a book.
Yep.
So
I don't think he's washed up. I think Cam lands on his feet somewhere. I think he finds somewhere. I'm not giving up on Cam. I think he lands somewhere good. I hope he finds a good place. So at least we're both agreement on that one. So that was my third one. So I'll need your third one.
Okay. So you had Miami.
28-24, I think. And I had Miami 21, Patriots 20, and you had Miami 28, Patriots 24. Yep. Okay. So
I gotta do this because everybody is hyping them up, and I hate it. So I picked Chicago at Los Angeles at the Rams, and I believe Stafford has been waiting for an offensive lineup like he's got right now, because the dude, he's got to be, if he is not the hardest, most accurate throwing quarterback right now, he's in the top three for sure.
Yeah.
And he hasn't, I mean, since Megatron left, he hasn't had that top receiver.
He hasn't had a receiver.
He's got an easy three receivers that could start anywhere and any team is the number one. And I think he's gonna embarrass people. And I think he's gonna, everybody's talking about Carson Wentz up in Chicago, or excuse me, what's his name?
Justin Fields.
Justin up in Chicago. And no, I don't. Chicago is much like you said when they eat New England. They're still looking for an identity, and I think they're going to get embarrassed. I got Los Angeles at 35 and Chicago at 10.
35-10.
Yep.
Yeah, I agree with you. That defense is going to eat Andy Dalton for dinner, breakfast, lunch, snack. They're going to make Andy Dalton wish he had stayed or made an early retirement. Yep. Andy Dalton is not the answer to Chicago's woes. Justin Fields might be in a few years.
Yes.
In a few years.
Yeah.
But Andy Dalton is not the answer to Chicago's woes. So I agree.
He's not the answer. With all the hype they keep putting on Justin, like nobody's talking about Andy. They're talking about Justin.
Yeah, they're talking about Justin, but I agree with you on that one. All right, what's your fourth one?
So I'm gonna go against the curve a little bit on this one. I picked Cleveland and Kansas City, and I got Cleveland upsetting Kansas City.
You are not the only one, my friend.
I got them upsetting them 17-14.
Nice. You are. I went with the safe pick. I made my official for my for the thing going on Tuesday. I made my official pick for that, and I said, and I went with the safe pick. But you're not the only one that I've talked to this week. In fact, you're not the only 2 or 3, 4 people that I talked to this week that have said the same thing. There's a lot of people that think that Cleveland can pull up the upset. And I am I'm a Baker Mayfield homie, all right, guys? I'm showing it right here. I'm a Baker Mayfield homie. I got a bromance with him. So I want him to succeed. And I think you're right. I'll give it to you, and I'll give you that 17-14 over the Chiefs. That's going to be. I mean, that's about as close as they played that championship game.
Yeah.
And if it wasn't for a bad replay call on a bull crap, Cleveland's going on, and Kansas City lost that game.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'll give you that's a good pick. All right, my number 4. I want to take the worst of the worst of the worst. I took the Jets and the well, I didn't take the Jets. I got the Jets at the Panthers. I'm not high on the Panthers. I'm just not. I think they're another team looking for something. They're just I don't know what they're looking for because it ain't an identity yet.
No.
It ain't an identity yet. So but I got them winning fairly decent. I got them. Well, I mean, if 11 points is decent. I got the Panthers 21, the Jets 10. I don't know if that's decent probably in the pros, but the Jets, I'm not ready to be all out and say that they got rid of Sam Darnold. I know they did. I don't know if I'm ready to go. I'm not ready to hand the keys over to. I can't think of the kid's name. I'm sorry, guys. It'll come back to me. But I'm not ready to say he's better than Darnold. I just don't know. Because I thought Darnold was a. Well, I'm not gonna lie. He wasn't that great a quarterback, but he wasn't horrible. He wasn't no Mark Butt Fumble Sanchez. So
yeah, I mean,
I just don't. I'm not ready to sell on that kid yet.
But I agree with you that it's hard to back the Jets when they haven't shown us any commitment over the last decade. They haven't committed to anything. Carolina, man, when your whole ticket selling thing rolls around one player who is a running back behind an aged, patched up offensive line. Yeah. You know, it's McCaffrey's great. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
He ain't Barry Sanders. You know, Barry made a living taking that ball and dodging contact to seem like the guy lined up in the backfield with him, you know. So, yeah, you're right. I have to agree with you. The Carolina's going to beat the Jets. That's a good score as well because, I mean, you can't name one outside of what is it? C.J. Mosley. I think that's the only player on the Jets defense you can name. You know.
Yep.
So.
Yeah, I'm not, man. And don't get me wrong, I like the Jets. I love the Jets. I just want them to find something.
Yeah.
Find yourself.
That's they're football royalty. They're
yeah.
They helped make this game what it is. So it's a shame that I think Fireman Fred is wearing a garbage bag on his head now instead of
absolutely.
Yeah.
All right, number 5. I'm taking 49ers. 34. There you go, Angel. Angel, this game's right here for you because you're a Niners fan. I know your wife's a Rams fan, but I know he's a Niners fan. 49ers, 34. Lions, 17. And I'm being nice to the Lions. I'm being nice to you Detroit folks.
I really wanted you to pick a game that I would argue with you with, but you want to talk about an identity. Like,
oh, my God.
The Lions, they even when they were going up, they were like, you know what? We got to fire the coach.
We're going up. Let's let Megatron retire. We're going up. Let's let Megatron retire. Let's fire the coach who's won more games than any coach we've ever had.
Yeah.
Because he didn't get. Yeah. I don't even want to talk to Detroit anymore. It's like my best friend just walked out on me, and I never want to speak to him again. That's Detroit.
So now San Francisco. San Francisco goes with Garoppolo. Everybody knows, he made a statement to move out to Hollywood, to San Francisco, to California for specific reasons, not football related.
Yeah.
And when you're young, you're a millionaire, you can make comments like that and do what you're gonna do. Have fun, bro. But you got to keep your wheels on the car, man. And one thing that the Lions do is they do put together a pretty aggressive defense. They put some strong boys up on that defensive line and the linebacker positions. And if there's a quarterback right now walking around on glass, it's Garoppolo, and that's if he takes that wrong hit, he's out. I do think Francisco's going to beat the Lions, but their season is going to go with Garoppolo. So
yeah. All right, what's your 5th one?
My 5th and final pick is Baltimore and the Raiders, the Raiders, and I've got Baltimore beating Las Vegas 28-21.
Good call.
Running back just went down, torn ACL.
Oh yeah, he went torn ACL today.
Yeah, but I feel like
the Raiders are the Raiders.
Yeah,
I don't care.
And
the Raiders are the Raiders.
Lamar Jackson's special, man. I think putting a back in the backfield kind of messes with him mentally. Yeah. I think having him back there and letting him decide if he's going to run or shoot. I feel like he plays a lot better ball that way, and I think this may be a blessing in disguise for Baltimore. The bad thing is they're gonna put 8 men in the box, but the dude is so fast. As long as he's got his eyes up, he's gonna outrun anybody just coming in there to get him. I just don't know who he's gonna throw it to outside of
Jackson.
Yeah, I don't know who he's gonna throw it to. So I'm hoping they they have a good time, because I do love Harbaugh. He's better than Jim. Yeah, and he's there's something special about somebody who has. Look at it. You got Belichick that's been in the league as long as he's had, and outside of that, you got Belichick and you got Peyton and you've got Harbaugh. Like, who else has been doing this in this league as long as those 3 guys? Yep. You don't hear, Harbaugh's they're talking about Harbaugh's job. They're talking about Harbaugh's job. You don't hear that. You know what I mean? So it's I root for guys like that. So
all right. And that's our picks, guys. Real quick before we get on and go watch the greatest game ever of the greatest team ever to walk the face of the earth that we both agree on this one. What's your pick for Dallas and the Bucks tonight?
I got Dallas upsetting Tampa Bay. I got Dallas upsetting Tampa Bay 28-24. I think everybody is and rightfully so. Brady's the GOAT, man. I mean, it's disgusting how just steady that dude is, man. But everybody's also talking about all these people came back. All these people came back. Yeah, all the people that came back are getting up there a little bit in age. And our defense is young. These boys are fast and they're big. Like, these dudes are coming. And they're hungry. You know, they were embarrassed last year, and I think Jerry let them know. You know, y'all played really bad. And you know, Jerry didn't. He's a lot more colorful with it. Feel like he went in there in his pink slip suit so he could just start getting rid of it. So I think they're gonna come out and they're gonna surprise everybody. Dak is back, and I mean, he was poised for an MVP season last year, and
yeah, he was on point, on target, and had he not gone down, I think it's a different season.
Yeah,
we all agree to that. I also have Dallas upsetting the Bucks. Not as high scoring as you got. I got Dallas 19, the Bucks 17. I think the reason I'm picking is, and I think, and you can disagree with me, McCarthy's on the hot seat.
Yep.
If he doesn't win this year, he's gone from Dallas. And I think there's some house cleaning all throughout Dallas if they don't win. This is a make it or break it season for Dallas. You heard it right here, folks. If they don't win at least a playoff game, I'll give them that. They got to make a playoff and win a playoff game for McCarthy to stay and for people to stay in Dallas. If not, there's house cleaning. There's house cleaning in Dallas this year.
Yeah.
And that's what I got, folks.
Yeah.
Not a bad first show.
No, not at all.
I enjoyed it.
Yeah, it was a good time. we gotta do
all right,
opposite though.
Huh?
So we got to do better at picking opposites though.
Yeah, well, this was the first show, folks. We kind of just got together like Wednesday night and said, let's do this. So here we are. We kind of put it together. We'll be a little bit more program, more on target for you guys next week. It was fun. We're going to be working through this, but thank you for coming out for the first episode of Red River Football.
Yeah.
I'm your host, Dash. This is your host, Vern. Hope you'll see us next Thursday. We'll get it in there real quick.
Oh, that's not nice, baby. That's not nice.
You're awesome, Vern. I will see you next Thursday, buddy.
Likewise, brother.
All right, buddy. Good night.
Good night.
Good night, guys.